Cool. Right, so today I'm going to be setting up. Ooh, this thing's heavy. This.
Yeah, pretty good looking panel if you ask me.
They're not too bad. I mean, it's these panels from us engineers, we nickname these the suicide panels because if you are not careful while servicing these, it's very easy to accidentally set the sounders off because of a slightly poor design on this panel. You have to remove these 4 screws. Once you've removed them, this is not secured, so you've got to kind of hold this while you undo the 4 screws, because if you slip, the evacuate key is there. So if you accidentally move down and it strikes any of the keys, if it hits the evacuate key...
It points for, a key switch to enable controls.
Well, weirdly enough, I've seen them with a key switch here. Like, about here, I've seen them with a key switch, but it was for isolating stuff.
Do you know what's better than a panel with no enable controls at all? A panel with only enable controls, like the Pathfinder. And I guess the TS86 you've got there.
But, I mean, the TS86 is a rather flawed panel in a way as well, because there's no lamp test facility on it. So, like, you can't test the lamp. And another thing that is also non-compliant about the TS86 is the buzzer does not sound while it is in fire. It only sounds when you silence it or when it goes into fault. The buzzer does not sound when it goes off. So that's another reason. This panel is the kind of panel that was brought in to replace the TS86. Another panel that was kind of brought out around the same time was the AN4000, which is in the exact same case. It's just a little different internals.
Yeah, well, it's addressable, obviously. It's quite different. And I think that was more of the suicidal power instead of the S400 being conventional.
Not really. The AN4000s are actually quite solid, to be honest. They're just, due to their age now, they're just getting a bit... They're becoming harder and harder to maintain, the AN4000s. We've just condemned one at a site. A couple... I think it was last week it got condemned. So that's getting upgraded soon.
Didn't you salvage this one yourself?
What?
Your S400, didn't you salvage it yourself?
I bought this on eBay. Ow. That hurt.
Sorry, what?
Ow. Oh, that really hurt. Oh, you bugger. Oh. So, another thing of word of warning, when they're lied on your back, this door does have a fair bit of weight to it. Don't stick your finger anywhere near there, because I've just trapped my thumb in that, and that really, really hurt. So, just a little word of warning, be careful with these panels. They tend to bite a little bit, which is one slight issue with flat down door designs. I much prefer doors that open outwards or no door at all.
Rid of the 326 side.
Yeah. My thumb's killing me there.
I prefer the TS86 in a way. It's safer.
The TS86 has got more issues than what I've mentioned, though. That thing is a very...
Okay, when have you injured yourself with it, then?
The TS86 has got more flaws than I can count, to be honest. It shows its age, to say the least. It really shows its age. Right. Oh, yeah, forget how deep the mains terminals are in this. I need my screwdriver set to get to those because they are very down in there. Right. So one thing I've been making for these panels is the end-of-line modules. I make the end-of-lines myself. So this has got the full kit of end-of-lines in it. So this panel should just be fault-free, ready to go. But yeah, so what I'll do, I'll put a plug on it. This panel was made on the 3rd of December 1999. So... It's not a very late S400. I mean, these were made up until about these were made up until about 2014. So these panels, this isn't a late one, but it's not an early one.
There's a local Audi built in 2009 with an S400.
Yeah. These panels were quite popular but the thing is, they shouldn't really have been fitted after. They shouldn't really have been fitted after about 2000 because they don't comply to the EN standards. Saying that, let me just check.
This Audi gets away with putting one in by 2009.
The thing
It
is,
wasn't an old story, it was a brand new one.
it's a bit of a weird one because it doesn't comply to the EN standards, but it does comply to the BS standards of its time. But it complies to BS 5839 Part 4, 1988, which sounds about right. These panels were introduced in 1989, so...
Wait, 89 you say these are from?
Yeah. 89 these panels came out.
A bit later, like mid-90s.
No, these were made 89, these panels. So, call devices on the system that I'm going to put on today. I'm going to use this SMS smoke detector that I removed recently off the site.
Are those realistic for Protec?
I can't really confirm if it will work. It was, funnily enough, off a little 2-zone one of these. I can't confirm if it'll work. The reason I replaced it was because it had a fault on the panel, but it had quite a bit of corrosion on this diode bit on the base. So I'm going to try it. I've cleaned up the corrosion a bit now, so that should hopefully work. We've got this big chunky Menvia detector. This one's
less realistic than the gents.
New old stock. This one, weirdly enough, was running on a 6500 on a zone alarm interface. Why? Not a clue. That's...
Well, it makes the system more interesting.
Yeah, that's all been linked through and put in devices as far as I'm aware now. MCP2A, again, remove this due to it causing a fault on the panel, but I'm going to try it. I've given it a bit of a clean. I can't see anything really wrong with it.
The panel is indeed the problem.
No, it was on an old, the system, actually, the system was a CEL precept panel, so it don't really come across many issues with the precepts. They were actually quite solid.
I see why quite a few of them still survived by 2018.
Well, they're still made. You can still get a precept.
Well, I meant the really old ones. They look different to when they still made them.
Yeah, the new ones don't even have a door over the controls. They're the new ones they're now sold under Fireclass. They're sold under the Fireclass branding. I don't know if they sell the precepts under any other branding, but I know they sell them under Fireclass now.
What about ADT?
I have seen them, but I think off the shelf now they're the Fireclass instead of Zetler, because I know Zetler seems to be for like the high-end addressable stuff, like the really high-end stuff. Yeah, well, Zetler is solid kit. We've got a site with a profile in it, and it's very good.
Do you think presets went from really bad to really good in addressable terms? You remember the CEL Voyager, right? And whatever others they made.
To be honest, they were solid panels. They were just didn't really have many issues with them. The only problem that you really had with them was there wasn't much front end you could do on them. Or was that I'm not sure about the Voyager. I've not really touched the Voyager, but I know the CEL Discovery replaced one of them a while back, and that put in a MX Pro 5 in its place, and that was purely just because we couldn't get a download out of the panel. Something had gone wrong in the bit, and we couldn't get a download out the panel. So, yeah. Anyway, so for sounders, I'm thinking I'm probably just going to put this on it.
Sick, man.
Cyrex 6M. And then later on, after we set it up with that and played around with the 6M for a bit, I'm thinking I might even put this on it.
fitting.
Um,
Maybe get installed as standard.
yeah, although that sounder is a lot older than the panel. That's a 1981 SR2, but still, anyways. And then I might even try this little guy on it.
Oh yeah, the Minitron, the original one.
Minitron, yeah. So anyways, let's put my instant panel, because it ain't going to do much without that, so... I do need me croppers, because I don't know where they've gone. I think they're on my
When you
desk.
first powered on the Minitron, you thought it sounded more similar to a Maxitron, like it wasn't meant to sound that way.
Yeah. The Minitron, sounds very similar to a Maxitron.
Yeah, well, you reacted like you didn't know that was the case with the Minitron.
Yeah.
Probably because you used the Minitron 2, which sounds obviously different.
Yeah. Right. Problem. I have not a clue where my snips have gone. They've just disappeared into thin air by the looks of it. So that's something I need to find. I had them on my desk, and now they are no longer on my desk.
Right here.
Oh, there they are. They are on my desk. They've just disappeared into just a pile of IP cameras.
Do you think you'll end up being as organised as this? I've got the schools right next to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a normal place to keep them.
No. I'm going to leave myself a nice bit of length on the flex, just because makes it easier when wiring into a panel if you've got some length on your conductors. So, leave myself about that much length on me wires, just makes it easier to get them into terminals. And then I'm just going to strip that. So this cable in particular, for anybody who's wondering what cable I'm using, this is 0.75 millimeter 3-core flex. And then for the rest of the wiring, I will be using some just Cat 5e cable because it's thin, simple to work around.
Do you think it might be a bit too thin?
It's cheap. It's very, very thin, but it'll get the job done. It's
remember last year when we were on live setting up your C-Tech?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember that at all, do you?
What about the C-Tech?
Oh yeah, the spur fault on it with the intruder cable.
Oh yeah, the ZFP. Friggin' hell, that was a while back.
I think that's still one of my favourite live streams, to be honest. Well,
yeah,
a lot to it, basically. A lot.
My God, the weird thing is the spur fault.
Your own panel.
The spur faults just made 0 sense. Like they weren't caused by a spur or any they just appeared and then just kind of after lots and lots of just changing wires around, they disappeared. I don't know what I'd done wrong, but clearly something I'd done wrong. I fixed it.
Up with conventional. What would that have been like if you had the same problem?
Well, on a conventional, it's one of them. If you get a fault on its own, you don't know where to start because the thing won't even tell you anything more than your fault.
I don't see the addressable as being all that much different. It just tracks down to one device, only for that to not be the problem.
So, with one thing that's very good about the Protec S400s is if you get an open circuit fault on your loop,
What's that guy just subscribed to?
Yeah, I just double over the calls. Really, I get Cat 5e cable pretty much for free anyway, so it's
that's fine, I guess.
gets the job done. And if I'm using something a bit higher power like bells, I double up on my cores. So I just use I just twist together four on either side just to get like more current capacity. Trust me, I've seen an intruder alarm system that had the mains wired into it in Twin and it not in Twin and sorry, in Cat 5e, and it was working from about 1992 up until about 2022 when it got replaced. Like Cat 5 is a solid cable. I mean, it works well.
It was only in 1992, was it?
Well, I mean, it might not have been. It might. I don't know when Cat 5. I don't know when Cat 5 itself came out, but I know it's similar cable. There's Cat 1, 2, like they're all different. BT cable as well. It's like BT cable. It's Cat Summit. Yeah. Close enough. It's all the same stuff, really. It's just some of it's better.
The 1992 installation.
Yeah, it would have been like BT cable or something. Either way, it's one of them. It's got coloured cores and it's solid core. To me, that's just any of that. I'm just like Cat 5e, even though it's sometimes it's not, but it's all the same shit. It gets the same job done, just with different interference and margins and stuff. Right. So one thing about this panel, the reason why I've chosen a very odd device pick here. This is a Labcraft branded KAC Series 2. And the reason I've chosen
on the inside then.
Yeah.
Glass.
It says at the top there, Labcraft. Labcraft model MCP11, 680 ohm, 1 watt resistor. The reason I've chosen these two, telephone cable, BT cable, telephone cable, yeah.
Didn't realise the telephone cable was that solid.
Yeah. Solid core cable, telephone cable.
I don't think it's as size as Pyro or even FP200. I'm sure.
No, it's because it's very thin. The cable's like very, very thin compared to Pyro. Pyro's got a copper outer sheath on it as well, so that stuff's very, very stiff cable. Because I know one thing. I think the best thing I've ever come across on servicing a system was a dual com that was fitted outside the panel that had been stuck above a ceiling tile grid, and that was wired. That was wired entirely in Pyro back to the fire panel. Some installers astonish me what they've done, but again, I mean, the dual com's defo been fitted later down the line, and they've just for some reason just stuck it above the ceiling tile. I'm guessing the original red care or something had just been shoved above the ceiling tile. Yeah. Right, let's power the thing on. Okay, well, it's not gone bang, so that's a plus. Oh yeah, these ones, the LEDs scan across on them.
Oh yeah, it does do that. I keep forgetting about that video, the first video of an S400.
Yeah. Great.
Oh,
so
God, that video is the classic.
What I'll do, stick some batteries in it. So got two 7 amp hour UASs here. Well, one's a UAS, so one's a U cell, but same company, so don't really matter. We mix and match brands of batteries anyway, and never had an issue. Although I've heard quite a few people say, you shouldn't mismatch batteries, but frankly, looking half of our fire panels, and we just pick whatever's on the van, frankly, so it's never had an issue with them, so I think it's just
mismatching brands or mismatching kind of wattage, amperage, and stuff.
I think as long as your batteries are the same type and not, I don't think different brands really will affect it much. And if it does, it'll be marginal difference, really. Wow, that detected the batteries very, very quickly. Yeah. Oops. Right. They're a nightmare to fit batteries in these. Usually, the ones that I come across in the field have got 4 6-volt 12 amp hours in them. I am not putting my 6-volt 12s in this. The 6300 sound, when I'm putting it in that panel, it's fine. I've got plenty of room. This thing, one of the worst designs of circuit board. Same for the AN4000. For how the batteries go in, it's a horrible design. But for the rest of it, it's all right. But it's just some design aspects on this make me just really question why. But right, I'm gonna just tilt the panel sideways for a minute while I just cut myself some cable. I've just got a reel of Cat 5 next to me, so right, what I'll do, I'll get my sounder circuit wired in first, so get my sounder out. Okay. Can't be arsed with that. There we are. That's a bit quicker. Yoink. Okie dokie. I just want to just put a little notable mention down here. Just like a bit of just want to mention a big thanks to Cole's Electroacoustics for helping me get a new driver for this sounder. When I got this sounder, I had this sounder imported from India, and unfortunately, it seems like over the years of it being sat in a warehouse or something like that, it's got corrosion inside of the driver, unfortunately, and that caused it to the internal coil to go open circuit. So I contacted the manufacturer who made it originally, Coles. They made the driver, gave them the model and stuff. It isn't a model they make anymore, but they still had parts to build me one. So they didn't even charge me that much. It was actually quite it was really affordable, like about 30 quid all in. And yeah, I got the parts, and as you'll hear soon, this sounder works brilliantly now. It's nice and loud. Although I will put some something in it just to stuff the horn bit a bit, just because it is getting on a bit in the night now, and I frankly just don't want to be listening to really loud stuff at this time. But yeah, it's a very nice sounder. Quite hard to come across these now. Out of the buildings I maintain, I only know of one building that still has these sounders, or has ever had these sounders.
I've never found one, at least sold within the UK.
Yeah, these sounders were manufactured for quite a while. Like they got discontinued around the same time that the 9Ms got discontinued. So that was in like the very early 2010s, I believe, was when about the 9Ms got discontinued. The 9Ms, I know, they also used Coles drivers. Funnily enough, they used the same driver that the Y08s use from Clifford and Snell. The exact same sound pressure units in them are both shared between those sounders, whereas the sound pressure unit in this is actually a special one for this sounder. It's not shared with any other products, as far as I'm aware. That was according to Coles anyway, but apparently it was solely Klaxon that was ordering these drivers from Coles back in the day. So I don't know if I know the Cyrex 6P. That just used the same drivers that the LCs used. The Cyrex LCs, obviously, same. I think it was just the 6M that used the driver.
Than the LC.
Yep. No, literally just the 6M. The 6P used the same driver as the LC.
And what's the difference between the 6P and 6M?
In all fairness, not a lot. As far as I'm aware, this 6P used the same circuit board, but with a different driver in a plastic case. What is that? Oh, it's a piece of fluff. I thought I had some weird looking bug flying at me. Then I was like, eh. Okay. So I won't be testing the smokes much today, by the way, because my smoke saber is on its last legs. I need to go and pick up another one soon. It's literally about ready to be empty. There is one more sounder that we could try on this as well that I've just thought.
Wait, is there a third sounder I haven't been told about yet?
No, you know about it.
Yeah, well, I can't remember about it. Just barely remember the Minitron.
It's a big red thing.
Come on, more description.
Red, got a slanted front on it, silver grill.
Grill? Oh yeah, that sounder.
Yeah, that one. Could try that on it.
Go for it. Do a bit of existence revealing, considering the owner of that's owned the first video of the S400.
Yeah. Right. So I am just going to leave all ender lines in the panel, mainly just it's easy for demo purposes. So what I'll do, I'll just chuck that wiring back there, strip it, and then go into one. Oh. The panel didn't like some things there. Is it the 6? Is it the 6M? Okay, apparently maybe we won't be using the 6M on this system because it's really not liking it. Does it at least work? Yep, it works.
You make it look as loud as it was.
What?
What? You make it look as loud as it was.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's putting the panel into fault, so it might not be this one that we're using today.
Why not?
I don't know why it's putting the panel into fault. I need to have a look now to see why it is in fault. Right, let's have a look. Why could this be going into fault? My wires are terminated fine. I do not know. If I disconnect the sounder, will the fault clear? If I disconnect it at this end. Yeah, it clears. So, it's the sounder. Let me remove the resistor out of the panel real quick, because it could be... Have I got the wrong resistance value in it? And, right, so... Nope. So, looks like we're using a different sounder today, but at least we've heard this thing go off. I think I need something a little bit more
Still
I think this sound is probably not best suited for a panel like this. In all fairness, yeah, there we are. It's now just cleared. So
do
I think
realistically find these sounders on a Protec system.
Well, the ones I serviced, they were on a what's its name? They were on a Protec 3300. I don't know what the panel originally was. That thing had been replaced probably long before I've been kind of doing any of this. Someone ringing me.
So,
They can bog off. Right. So, okay. I'll have a little dig into that to see why it's causing a fault on the panel. It's possible just due to its solid state nature being very much heavy.
Isn't it?
What?
Right. The SR2 solid state.
The SR2 is sort of solid state. It's not really. It does use a mic. Oh, it's fine.
I still don't want to pay £100 for that thing though. That's why I let you go for it.
You know what? Let me just quickly check it. Let me just quickly check that it's not something else driving this panel instead. Because frankly, there's probably a reason the thing was removed.
C3 you got there?
Yes, it is.
Does it have the programming port in it?
Nope. See. Right, let's just quick. Okay, that's not going into fault.
This is a fire alarm. Please leave the building immediately by the nearest available exit. This is a fire. Please leave the building immediately by the nearest. Attention, please. This is an emergency. Please leave the building by the.
Okay, I sent the thing a bit mad there. What dip switches was it that I needed?
Watch that video of factory resetting a C3 voice sounder.
Yeah.
Particularly.
That's the. By the way, if you just hear a random vibrating noise in the background, blame this thing.
I thought that was your phone though, not your vibrator.
There's no. That is a vibrating pillow pad. It listens to fire alarm, so it kind of sometimes can go off when I'm playing around with stuff. Right.
Oh. Emergency. Please leave the building by the nearest available exit. This is a fire alarm. Please leave the building immediately by the nearest. Attention, please. This is an emergency.
I glitched
Please leave
it.
the building by the nearest available exit. This is a fire alarm. Please leave the building immediately by the nearest available exit. This is a fire alarm. Please leave the. This is a test message. No act. This is a fire alarm. This is a fire alarm. Please leave the building immediately. This is a fire alarm.
There we are.
Please leave the building immediately by the nearest available exit.
There we are. So. This is gonna be fun. Do you know what? I'll just set up the time and date later on this. Out with the battery because I cannot be arsed silencing that over and over again. Right. So I've confirmed at least it's not the panel, which is a plus. So moving on, I guess. Get out. Right. Oops. Let's just chuck that back in there. And In that goes. Close, 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 and close. Right, I'll just throw that on my desk for a minute. And now, let's wire this little guy in, because frankly, yeah.
I know the see-through was corrupted, but did it actually fault the system?
Wait, what? The C3 didn't cause the issue. It was the 6M that was causing the issue.
Yeah, so see-through was fine then, wasn't it?
No, the C3 was fine. I set some dip switches up that made it go a bit weird, but other than that, that's fine. Right. Let's just check if the little Minitron works. Yeah, that works. Yeah, the Minitron, I don't know. I don't feel like that fits the system too well.
Yeah, it fits in with an SR2 if you ask me, but...
I don't know. It seems like I don't want to go with the SR2 because the SR2 is just the kind of just the standard option. I think I know just the sounder I'm going to use.
What?
Say hello to my not so little friend.
What, is it bigger than an SR2?
No, it's about the same size as an SR2, but there we are.
Yeah,
This here is a Tan Synchronome Synchrosound 4. So, at least we've got the sounder situation sorted now, because I think this one will fit quite well, especially on the pip tone.
You mean on a system that isn't 10 cyclone?
I mean, these are close enough to Tan. I'm pretty sure these were made by Tan.
Well, the 700 ones were. Wait, no, they were made by Transmold in Ireland.
They rebranded them. I know they were a rebrand of them.
10 Cyclone probably branded them first after Transmold.
I think no, they were like the Irish rebrand of them as far as I'm aware. This thing here is from 1984, might I add. This is quite an old sounder.
That's not the oldest you can think of, though.
No, the oldest one I've got by far is definitely, I would say I'd probably say the oldest one I've got is the, maybe the Minitron or like, probably the Minitron. I would say that thing's definitely like 70s era, that thing. That's an old sounder, that.
Like really early 70s, perhaps?
I wouldn't say early 70s. I would say like mid to late 70s.
Well, the oldest Warbler I know is 1973.
Yeah, so I would say that thing probably came out a bit later. I don't think it was particularly that old, but... Right, so... Go positive in there. So this sounder, by the way, out.
What?
Fair enough. Yeah, this sounder will probably be face down for most of this live stream because it is just that brutally loud. I don't think I could really have it facing upwards because
Still not as brutal as the others.
What?
I say it's still not as brutal as the others.
Oh, I don't know. In person, it really is. Although
the Minitron or the 6M.
Oh yeah, the thing's about just a bit louder than the 6M. This.
What about the Minitron? Surely that thing's louder, right?
The Minitron's not particularly that loud. That thing's a weak little sounder that compared to these.
What about the Maxitron though?
Yeah, the Maxitrons are about as loud as a Master Blaster, but just a very different tone. So they're a little more bearable than a Master Blaster.
I don't think a sounder as loud as a Master Blaster could even be made, you know?
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah. Have you ever encountered the old E2S sounders? Jesus. E2S just used to push them things to their limits.
Well, my very little E2S sounder is one of the loudest in my collection.
Yeah.
They
Sounds like an intruder alarm.
Yeah, they're good at using them.
Yeah, I'm thinking Pip. Actually, I don't know. I'm indecisive on what to put the devices on this panel now. I'm just figuring some of it out. It's more just playing around with panel, to be honest. I'm just trying different things. Do you know what? Yeah. Screw it. This one's easier for me to shove a sock down, so it's easier for me to jam a sock down in the cone. So
But I've never actually done that with a Warbler or SR2.
yeah, it's rather easy. You just
I did do that with a Lintex.
you just
speaker.
simple. Grab a sock and just in there. Done.
Yeah, well, I've only done that with a Lintex speaker, not a Warbler or SR2.
Yeah. Anyways, well, I had a little bit of a tone demo on the on the Synchro sound now, and frankly, I'm just happy that I've got it out because I've been meaning to set this thing up for a little bit. Soon, I'm going to properly set the fire check 2 up with this tan call point. I got a tan ionization smoke detector with base.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't go off. And I tried another one that I think you give me. Couldn't get it to go off. The only tan detector I could get to go off was that heat detector you gave me. The ionizations just wouldn't go off.
Yeah, they probably lost sensitivity.
I probably, to be honest, they're getting on a bit, those detectors. I mean, although one detector I will say that is really resilient for its age, like how long these things actually last for, are these.
An ID58.
Yeah, they go along for quite a while, and these as well. These keep going for quite a while.
Isn't it weird how in 2012 I thought the BRK system sensor like that looked a bit weird?
Yeah, I mean,
they're actually pretty good looking.
Yeah, System Sensor was founded as a spin-off from BRK as the commercial line.
Yeah, you told me it was like a range name for the System Sensor range. Like,
no, it was a spin-off brand from BRK. So it came around. It came around pretty much from BRK for the commercial lineup, and then eventually, I think I don't know what happened, whether BRK got bought out, and that's how it kind of disappeared into the rest of nothing, like just into the rest of the Honeywell ecosystem or whatever. But I know eventually, like they turned into, I know they got bought. I know System Sensor was acquired by Pitway, so.
Well, so was BRK, and yeah.
So I think
BRK was definitely owned by Pitway at one point, because
one
of those design actually says Pitway on it, as well as BRK and System Sensor.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Did Pitway own BRK in the late 80s as well?
I'm not sure. I think they owned. By that point, I'm sure they had a System Sensor by that point. But I think they had Notifier about that point as well.
Yeah.
Or did they? No, I don't think they did. To be honest, I think Pitway only came in the 90s for them companies, because my Notifier CFP2 panel, that's no mention of Pitway. That actually, weirdly enough, that mentions Firelight in it, which is a bit strange.
Firelight is owned by Honeywell as well. I'm sure that was.
Yeah. Firelight's like an American kind of off branch from.
Yeah, well,
like
they kind of get it in the UK as well. Like,
Uh,
saw a Firelight Grand Cool Point.
Yeah, I think Firelight kind of appeared. It's like Simplex though. Like I've worked on a Simplex system, and granted, they're absolutely horrible, but they did exist over here. They just kind of they appeared and very very quickly disappeared. That'll do, mate. Right, device time. Right, so zone. Ooh, that did not feel good. What the hell was that?
They're a little weird, I know.
That just span off really quick, and it felt like something broke. But okay. Right, glass for the call point. I've just got a piece of Protec glass, old Protec glass,
For a modern KSC, huh? What
and
are you
then
doing?
yeah, this is just resettable. I forgot my KAC key, so just bear with.
You can just keep yours in one place. You can just keep a spare one on top of the panel.
I did, but because they're such a cheaply designed key, they get breaking.
Well, you don't have thousands of them.
Uh,
Well, I suppose you are right about them breaking a lot. Two of mine broke.
yeah,
But there are quite a few of them to start with.
Just pop the clips on the back of it. I was gonna. Fuck it. I was gonna change the element. Do I have? Alright. Oh yeah, there's one on here. There we are.
Cool bit.
There we are. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna put some more unique looking glass in it. So I'm gonna just turn my camera a little bit away from the panel because the inside of that panel currently is an absolute minefield. So don't particularly want to be showing that. It's all I can say is it's enough to make a health and safety person shit a live kitten.
Yeah, well, I'll ban them for my stream if they do that. Well,
right. Let's find an interesting glass somewhere in this.
No, just pick one or something.
Blank. Got some Westmoreland glass. Some Westmoreland Fire and Security. They're a company that has got the other side of the Lancashire County Council contract. We've got one side of it. They've got the other side of it, as far as I'm aware.
You only got the other side of it.
Or actually, have they lost it? They might have. Ooh, that's a good glass.
Kidder.
Good.
That's post-United Technologies, isn't
it? I'm not sure. I think that's that. I mean, the system that came off was a Vega. Well, it was a Vega. The Vega died and got replaced, but it was at one point a Vega.
I wonder if Kidder ever had access to static systems.
Probably not.
Or maybe static systems had access to Kidder. I don't know.
Well, not really. Statics made their own kit, and then Kidder's a...
For a hospital with static systems.
Kidder's, like, at the time, Kidder and Statics, they were just competitors to each other, so they wouldn't have really dealt with each other.
Yet, Western Hospital still has call points with Kidder glass.
Well, it's one of them. Glass. You find... I think a lot of the time, the glass as well, you could just... I think people, engineers and stuff, if they'd replaced a call point or something and had the glass in the van, if a customer requested, like, have you got any spare glass? They're just chucking them like we've had it before where I've just chucked a piece of glass off the van and it's been like a like an old piece of like old piece of glass from some other random company.
Glasses I found on that system were Ultronica glasses, likely left from the system it had before that.
Yeah.
I don't know when that system was installed, possibly the early 2000s. Although maybe a bit later, because, I don't know, they would have already been in place. I don't know when that system was installed.
I know, I've come...
It looks new, I guess. Well, least
I've come across a bit of a weird one, which was some Siemens glass in a call point.
branded Siemens glass.
Yeah, some of the clear stuff.
Clear branded Siemens glass. And not
Aye.
Cerberus Arturex.
It was on what's his name's panel. It was on Algo Rex, I think it is. Is it the Algo Rex? I can't remember the names of the panels now. I think the Algo Rex was one of the old addressable Siemens. Well, introduced by Cerberus, then Siemens kind of took over. And Siemens systems are horrible. Like the Cerberus and the Syntensos, they are a horrific panel. They are some of the worst systems I know of.
Haven't they been in America even longer than they've been in Europe?
Like,
or was that at the same time?
I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to Siemens much because it's just horrendous kit. Like it's horrible to work on. There's one company I know that installs Siemens kit. They're called Black Box Group. Just been bought out by Scootum.
It's a really weird name for a company.
Yeah, Black Box Group. They're a bit of an older firm, but
yeah, if you don't pay attention to Siemens, you might as well ignore that call station on your TS-86.
Yeah, Black Box. They fit Siemens. They're one of the few companies in the UK that can work on it. But it's horrible. Like it is. Nothing on a Siemens panel is like another panel. Like everything's worded weirdly, and it's all just they're difficult panels to work around. I've dealt with Siemens panels in the past, and they're horrible.
Yeah, I think it's just a shame that Siemens is as bog standard as Protec 6000, really.
Protec 6000 shits on Siemens any day. Protec 6000 is some of the best kit on the market. It is by far like it. A 6500. If you put a 6500 next to an MX Pro 5, what a 6500 can do is much more, and it's due to just the capabilities. And a 6600, yes, that's a beast. The 6600 is the highest spec version of a 6500. It's got better network on it. And there's some other differences to it as well. It's got a different backplane on it and stuff like that. It's a bit of a different panel, but it is such a good panel. Like 6.5 is amazing, but 600 as well really shines, and it's a good system. To be honest, Protec's always been quite good. Like even with the older 6300, when you can get into them, like when you work around the software, it's actually very good. Like they're easy to set up. They can do a fair amount.
Well,
I think this call point's fucked. Oh wait, no, nope. The call point's probably still knackered. I don't know. I've not really tested that theory yet, but it would help if I wired it into the panel.
Yeah, why do you hate the new Star KC? It's probably one of the very few semi-decent modern call points that takes glass.
I'm not sure what the problem with this MCP was. I know it was causing a fault on the panel. We didn't question it and just swapped it to a cycle. Never had an issue since, so.
Kind of a shame the cycle can't take glass.
What?
Huh? It's just a shame the cycle can't take glass.
Good. Well, I don't know what I've done in the meantime of having it. I've probably done something to fix it, but right, I'll have the new style KAC and the SMS smoke detector on the same line. Oh, speaking of SMS smoke detectors, that's what I meant to tell you, Matt. I also got a new one of those today.
Oh yeah, one of those. What brand is it?
RCL.
Never heard of that company before. These older detectors are so interesting, you know.
It don't work. It don't work, but it's.
Yeah, well, this country still wants it to be lost media.
I think as detectors are aging now, they're getting so old. That's why manufacturers recommend 10 years on them, because once you get past 10 years, it's a gamble whether on the next service it'll even work. This is the thing: you get the odd detector that has been made in like 1982 and is still working, and then you get another one made that same year that does not work anymore. That's why servicing is so important as well. It's just to make sure that pretty much everything's right, because it's life safety equipment, really.
Well, the sad thing is you can't really find many detectors from 1982, even if the rest of the system still survives. The detectors are the least likely things to survive.
I mean, this is the thing, though. Realistically, as much as I think, yeah, it would be cool to see some older detectors in buildings. The aspect of it being cool, and also the fact that it is just inherently quite dangerous, is one thing. Like, it's just the older the detectors get, the more likely they are to fail.
The only thing that's actually dangerous is not having anything at all, you know.
Well, that's the thing, though. If you had the older detectors in a building that are getting to that age where they are starting to break down a bit, that eventually those are going to fail, and you won't have any detection.
Well,
the detection will just.
Another thing, though, what if we humans were the smoke detectors, and we still had a working fire system elsewhere? We'd still be able to activate the system, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the manual call points will still work. It's just the. It's obviously
that isn't having nothing now, is it?
Yeah, your manual call points will work, but the thing is, if the building's unoccupied at the point, then the system's rendered useless pretty much. And then if that system didn't activate and there's no logs present that system activated, insurance companies won't pay out, because they'll say, like, if another thing, like, if your system hasn't been serviced properly, and that insurance companies won't pay out. Insurance companies will find every way possible to not pay out, and it in a way it's right, because it's like, as much as it is one of those, like, it makes it harder on customers and stuff, because they're having to pay out more and more for the servicing, but it keeps.
Don't rely on insurance then.
But it keeps.
Really exist. You said
Well, the thing is, the insurance, if they had a fire in the building, then they'd pretty much, without the insurance, well, to put it lightly, they're not going to be having a great day, because it's.
What about that time previous owners would set fire to their abandoned building that they still own, so that the insurance could pay out?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Abandoned buildings is another weird thing. That abandoned buildings is another whole different part to that sort of stuff. That's a common thing, is that, and it weirdly enough, it 9 times out of 10 it works, and they'll get an insurance payout from it, and then all of a sudden,
insurance payout from that, but not a working building's fire.
Yeah, it's insurance. It's all weird stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, insurance shouldn't exist. It's not worth it.
It works well, because in the event that a building did have a fire and it was properly maintained and all things were in check, then obviously that helps. Obviously, because if it's a smaller business, especially if they had something like that could cripple them. Like, something like a fire in their building could genuinely knock them down to the point where they'd shut down. It can be the point where they can't financially recover from that.
Yeah, because they spent money on insurance in the first place.
And this is why we get them the nickname. So easy to press the wrong button on these.
It's
Okay.
not exactly suicidal, though, is it?
Well, the thing is, they're not the only one. Well, looks like we're not testing any more smoke detectors now, because that was the last puff.
You told me you weren't going to test any at all.
Okay. Well, call points, I guess it is. You know what, then there is not particularly much point me wiring a second zone into this. Because I can't test the smokes now, so swap out this call point for Series 2.
Yeah, Series 2, they look so much better. Well, only with...
I just more wanted to check that this thing worked, to be honest. Which it does. I'll probably put an ADT slide on this, to be honest, and use it on my... I'll probably use it with my conventional Tyco stuff. So I've got a conventional Tyco panel as well.
You ever seen an ADT brand Series 2?
I don't think I've come across one of those. I've come across Thorn branded. This call point is sticky, by the way. I just have to add that this call point is unnervingly sticky.
Yeah, unnervingly. I don't know what to think.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Wherever this has been, I'm guessing it's come out of somewhere like a kitchen or something, because it is just very, very sticky. Do you know what? Let's swap this smoke detector out, because, again, that was more just me testing the smoke detector.
Yeah. And what, you say that SMS optical didn't work either?
What, that old RCL branded one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's knackered. It doesn't work.
Yeah, do you still want to keep it then?
What?
Do you still want to keep it?
To be honest, I'm just seeing if I can pop off that little disc on the front so I can swap it onto my working one.
Okay.
I'll have a crack at repairing it. Like, I don't have a base for it though.
I thought you did at one point.
Nah, not. I don't have a spare base. I don't have any of those bases actually for both of my detectors. Let's see. Smoke detectors, smoke detectors, smoke detectors. What do I have in this tub? Let's go with that one. That one seems cool. Right. Neatan.
Yeah, good.
I'll put this in between the... I'll put the call point last, actually. Actually, you know what? I choose you.
Swapping it out.
Swapping it for a big one.
Or what? Is that the thin base?
Yeah, it is. It's a small base, this.
I still think they look rather odd and, I guess, modern in a way.
I prefer the small bases to the thick bases. The thick bases, I don't know. I feel like the thick bases, they just look a bit... I don't know.
Well, I'll say the Sensitech looks better on those at least. But
Sensitech in general isn't particularly good looking, but it gets the job done very efficiently.
I mistake the Sensitech for an Apollo heat sector once. You think that's ugly as well?
The Apollo heat detectors, they're not particularly good looking, but they get the job done fairly well. I mean, it's a tried and tested design. It's worked since the the early 90s. So Oh, that looks good.
What does?
The 2KC on a thin base, it actually looks quite good. I like that. Right, what I'll do. The Series 2, by the way, it's a decent designer call point up until you flip it over. I shorted the wires, that's why the panel went into fault. What is that?
Well, it's just an NID 58 AS.
Alright, yeah.
Uh,
Is that an AS?
yeah,
Cool.
with wide base this time. None of the really old ones have thin bases like this.
I've come across a few. They weren't as popular, weirdly, but
Still think it looks kind of weird on a thin base like that.
I think they look quite a bit better, me. But
No, I think what does it better,
right.
I didn't think
Oh.
this was better because it won't even fit on properly. Yeah. There is one problem with fitting these ones on the older bases.
No, that does not look good at all.
Well, it's just a little bit narrow in between here.
Nah, no. Like these look okay. I mean, they don't look great on a wide base, but they don't look terrible. That just looks hideous. That's awful. No. Just no. That is wrong. You're just blatantly wrong. No.
I don't know really. I just what did I think when I first saw a sensor tank on an even older base like this? I guess it kind of looks weird in a sense, being flush with.
Oh, fuck off! Really? What? What have I done wrong? Oh my god, do not tell me that this panel literally will not accept 680 ohms. Jesus. I mean, granted, 680 is a bit of a weird resistance. Not meant... I mean, unless I've wired it wrong.
I still think the older ones look fairly modern when they're on this type of base.
I think they look better.
I mean, I
Right.
think these bases didn't come out until the late 90s.
There we are. I'd wired it wrong. So, it turns out, on the ones with resistors, it's the top and the bottom terminals, not the top and the middle terminals. Noted. Right. I'll just put a cover on the inside of the panel now, because I've frankly just given up by wiring anything more into the panel, so... Now, let's see.
Durable base.
Oh, that was close.
What?
Okay.
What was close? What
This is just nearly at the evacuate key.
What again?
Yeah, it's very easy to do on these.
I'm not sure. Do you think the NRD 58 looks better on this base than a sensor tech?
Oh yeah, by far the thicker detectors look okay on those bases. They don't look too bad. I mean, but the Sense Tech really just looks awful on that base design. Right.
Oh, so there is one on that drawer of the base.
Right. That's another can of smoke saber. Does this saber have anything left in it? Nope, another empty can. I feel like I've just halfway emptied these cans of saber because of like.
How many chance does it say 2000 on it?
I can't read that.
I thought it was. Never mind. It probably is 2000 because. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got.
Do you think this is any better looking than the Apollo heat sector?
I don't know. I prefer the evolution design, but these are okay. I've actually weirdly enough, this one actually came on a thick base. This one came off an AN4000.
I don't know if it looks any better on the thick base, but I actually don't think anything does. But just sometimes they're difficult, you know. That's the only problem I have with the thicker bases, because certain devices like the SenseTech don't fit on there very easily, you know.
Yeah, it's because they're not made for that base.
But I have seen the SenseTech on that base a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the tan ionization that just wouldn't go off. And both of them wouldn't.
We've had the base one finally.
Yeah, but I don't have a working one, so back to square one pretty much. I've got a heat detector. Why the frig? I don't want heat detectors. I try to weed them out my collection as much as I can, unless it's like a really like rare one, like the Pyrene or something. Like
the chloride gents mercury heat detector.
That's not even chloride gent. That thing. That's gents of Leicester. That's ancient.
Whatever, same difference, kind of.
Yeah, not really. Chloride gent and gents of Leicester were kind of different to each other. What does the isolate button do on this again? I can't remember how you work the isolate button on these. Is it isolate and mute / silence? I remember now. And then, is it... How do you isolate the zone? I don't remember how you isolate zones on this panel. Do you just... Wait, do you just literally just scroll through? There's a way to do it, and I cannot remember how. Do I just do that? Yes. Yes, I do. So I've isolated a zone on the panel now.
Yeah, okay.
Can I silence the fault buzzer? No, so you cannot silence it when you've got disablement.
Yeah, does this key switch feel unusually easy to turn?
Yeah, those key switches are quite nice. I like the one on mine. It's...
Yeah, it feels a bit easy to turn, which is kind of weird. Just,
I think it's partly because of the size of the key. To be honest, it is quite a chunky key.
Yeah, okay, chunky. I don't know.
I want to try more sounders on this, mate. Let's try something else. I know what we can try.
When was this thing from again? 2012?
Let's try. Okay. Next sounder is this.
I wish I bought that one, really.
Eh?
I wish I bought it.
Yeah. These are an okay sounder. They're not really my favourite, but they're okay. Oh, actually, do you know what? I'll put this one to one side for a minute because we will come back to this one. But I have one more sounder up here that I would like to do, and that's this one.
Oh, right, okay.
Another SR2, just a newer SR2. This one's from 1998. So let's take the 1981 SR2 off.
Oh, it's on the back. You have to open it up.
I might just swap the fronts, to be honest. I don't know if I can be arsed taking the backs off. I'll probably just swap the fronts.
This is 13, 10, 11.
Do you know what? No, I'll swap the backs. I was gonna just swap fronts, but I'll swap backs. SR2s are a really cool sounder. They're I come across these on like a daily basis, but they're still cool.
Yeah, you've seen these before.
Is that what's that? Static Systems Input Output module.
It's an isolator.
Oh yeah, an isolator. Yeah.
It's a very weird one. I don't know whether it's Nitan Protocol or Apollo.
Yeah. I've seen them around. There's the site that I was talking to you about that used to have a 925 in it. That's got a few of them dotted around.
Makes sense.
Obviously it's not got the 925 in anymore, but still got those dotted around.
I wonder if somewhere else I'd seen these other than a former site.
Yeah.
Like a pretty later one. I wonder if I could use this on the Morley.
Right.
Well, I guess the whole point of Morley was to be a substitute static.
Hmm.
What?
What did you say?
Well, I guess the whole point of Morley was to be a substitute static.
Hmm. Right. Let's wire this in, and then that'll probably be the last thing I do with this. It's only a conventional panel. There's not really a lot I can. There's not a lot I can drag out on this. It's a conventional panel. I mean, if it was addressable, there would be a lot more setup I could show on it. But right now, it's a conventional. There's only so much I can do besides just play around with a few different devices on it.
What I make along forever with it.
It's
Just
just one of them.
That C-Tech, like 3 hours on that C-Tech.
Yeah, that was just because of some weird faults on it. But I think I'm going to get that panel back out soon. I want to get the anti-tamper door for it to swap the anti-tamper door onto it. So I'm going to get a price for one of them because I actually do quite want the anti-tamper door. It looks really good with an anti-tamper door on it. Ooh. Why is this sounder making a weird noise? I can hear a buzzing sound through it. This panel's defo got something going weird with it. It's only when I put my ear to it, but I can hear like a little buzzing sound through it.
Maybe it's to do with the very low voltage the sound circuit's outputting.
Nah, because like... It's definitely wired right, isn't it? Yeah. It could be due to a few factors, to be honest. Again, I didn't hear it on the other one, but I did have a sock in it, so I'm not too worried, frankly. As long as it goes off, it goes off. I think some sounders, the S400, the thing with this panel is obviously, again, I don't really know its background really much. It works, but other than that, I don't really know much about its background and like other stuff like that. But it's this one line. Let's see if this one works. Yep, works. I'll probably not put that gent sounder on. I can't be bothered. What time are we on? 9:05.
It says 21:06 now.
Yeah, it is. I was looking over at 6500 to that. I was looking.
Clock.
What?
Your 6500 is your clock.
Pretty much, yeah. I just use time and date on that, so to look what time it is. Either that or look over at the CCTV and see what that's showing.
It's like real clocks are becoming outdated.
Well, I mean...
Because now everything's a clock, just everything.
Pretty much. I mean, fire alarm panels, addressable ones, the reason it's got a clock is for the logs on it. Even some conventional panels had a screen on them and clocks and stuff. That like the old emergy lights. those old emergy light panels had time and date and a screen and full-on menus in them, even though we were a conventional panel. They're quite nice panels. I quite liked them. They were easy to work on. They weren't build quality, so, but the functionality-wise, I love that. I think more conventional panels, they need to start putting screens on those things, because half of them nowadays, it's like, most of them, hold down this button for like 3 seconds to put it into to get you into disablement mode. The easiest ones that I can disable in like a good few seconds are the Protec 3100s and 3300s. Literally get that panel disabled in no time.
Basic light panels.
What?
Was it the Eurofire?
Yes.
Are they the ones without the LCD?
I don't know. They had an LCD on it.
Or is that... No, I think that's the Eurofire EN54, isn't it?
Yeah, the EN54 one. I don't know why I don't know what they happened to those panels, because they were fairly good. I think Emergy Light just kind of disappeared.
Well, it's just most of the ones I know are in places that are now closed down. I don't
Yeah.
really care much for them, to be honest. Wilco used them a lot, including on older systems.
Yeah, I found out recently that Challenger security products and FireSafe were the same company. FireSafe and Challenger are pretty much the same company. They're registered at the same head offices.
Yeah, I worked that out with them having the same logo.
Not really. They don't have the same logo. Their logos are very different.
Yeah, FireSafe did have the same logo as Challenger.
They don't.
It just had Challenger written on it instead of FireSafe, that's all.
No, their logos have been different for a while. Yeah. So yeah, that's the S400 setup anyway. There's not really much more I can show on this panel. They got a little jumper link inside to put it into test mode if you want to put it into walk test. Disable your sounders, pull out the fuses, isolate zones. You can isolate one zone at a time on it. Just hold down isolate and then press silence, scroll through which one you want to disable. And yeah, it uses an 830 key for the door. There's not really much more I can really say to this panel. They're basic, but they get the job done, and I quite like them. They're a nice little panel, but
I'd say they're pretty good looking in a sense.
They're okay. I prefer the recessed mount ones. The recessed mount ones look a bit better. But
the recessed mount ones.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that had the stainless steel doors on them. The stainless steel ones look mint.
Yeah, well, I've seen one in London.
Yeah, I know the panels I quite liked in the stainless steel versions with the old M80 battleships. They looked mint in the stainless steel. Just this absolutely ginormous panel.
I thought they were always like that. Or were they just grey as standard?
They were grey. Those panels. The M80s were grey, and then they did a stainless steel version.
I don't see it looking that much different to a grey one.
Yeah, it did. You can tell very much because obviously it wasn't painted. It was brushed stainless steel.
Wait, was the grey one painted?
Yeah. Alright, which plug is that plugged into? Right, it would help if that didn't just fall off the wall. Get back on there, you bastard. Right, there we are. Yeah. Out with one battery. Out with second battery. Yoink.
Have you ever owned a Xenex before?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever owned a Xenex before?
No, I haven't. I've serviced plenty of them. I serviced one yesterday. Yeah, good old Shift 123. Good panels. They're alright. I don't mind them.
I know them as being a bit unreliable, maybe.
To be honest, I've never had an issue with the Xenex. They're one of the few panels that I've never had an issue with. Like
you seem to not have an issue with anything that I've had an issue with.
Yeah, they're solid panels.
Anything.
The Xenex is a solid panel. The sound. The one panels that I've had plenty of issues with were the Hayes Surveyors. The Hayes is a company that genuinely I think just shouldn't exist. They've just been always just terrible.
Yeah, really? Because I'm looking forward to powering mine on.
Oh, I've had no end of issues with them. We had one site with them where the thing just wouldn't stop going into fire. Like, disconnect zone 2 and it was still going to fire on zone 2.
Like a Vega?
Not quite, because that wasn't a feature. That was just an internal issue.
I thought failsafe was the feature.
On the Vegas, yeah, but on the Hayes, not so much. That was just a really knackered panel.
Well, anyway, do you know how to wire a Xenex? Well, I mean, why am I saying wiring? Is it's pretty obvious, but I mean, like, do you know what end of?
Yeah, it's well easy. Wire it. You just wire it like a normal conventional panel, and then just put the end of line module at the end.
What kind of end of line modules do they need?
I don't know. It's a little blue thing on those.
A blue capacitor?
I think so. I think it is a capacitor on those, actually.
Yeah, I don't use the same one as the old Xenex.
Yeah. There's no difference between the Xenexes. They've never changed. They're the same panel.
Yeah, do you know if the 3260 use the same EOL modules?
No, I don't think it does. That uses like a little circuit board, I think. No, I haven't looked in. Yeah, I'm sure it's got like a little circuit board in it. They're like little circuit boards in those.
Yeah.
They're little circuit boards in those panels. My 8-zone one has got all of them. Me 2-zone one, weirdly enough, that one does fail safe on it. That's weird, that thing.
Well, conventional power does fail safe.
Yeah, it's horrific. It was confusing the ever-living life out of me. I thought the panel was broke at first. It's...
Wait, what panel does it? A Xenex?
Is what?
Yeah, a fail safe. What panel does it?
The little 2-zone SMS panel.
Well, if that does it, does that mean the Xenex does as well?
Nah, Xenexes don't.
Okay, that's fine. Does that make
might do, actually. I'm not sure.
How are you even able to make a conventional power do fail safe?
I don't think it's not something you can change to make it do that. That's just a factory. That's however they've made the panels.
Yeah, but I thought fail safe was an optional function.
No.
Which
No, definitely not.
Closed protocol can only be done with closed protocol.
Not really. It shouldn't really be done. It's not compliant.
I don't even know what failsafe is, let alone unaddressable.
I don't know. The Vegas were just friggin' strange, but they didn't really comply, the Vegas. They weren't They weren't a very compliant panel, the Vegas. They were actually quite a bad panel. They weren't very good, but they were a panel that existed. They found their weird niche markets, and then thank God they disappeared. They
Well,
kid
they're actually disappearing. I have pictures of some.
Kid are just. It's one of them. They had the niche market, but it's like EST. They had the weird niche markets, and then they just kind of disappeared a bit. Like EST, they at one point they were kind of pushing into the UK market quite a bit. They were showing off. There was a company. I was speaking to someone. And they were saying there was a company that came over here. And I can't remember what company it was, and can't remember who was telling me this, but somebody was telling me this, and apparently some company came over, who's like saying about this panel and all of that, and they wanted to fit this panel on a site, and then they had to turn around to them and say, "We can't fit this. Only got one sounder circuit on it." It was, it was a panel. Only had one sounder circuit on it, so they couldn't fit it. It was because to the standards, it has to have a minimum. Has to have a minimum of two.
Hey, I think the Pathfinder has 2 sounder circuits.
It will do. It'll have 2 sounder circuits.
It's the most simple panel. It's only a 1 sound. If it has only
one
sound, you normally have only 1 sounder circuit as well.
Nah. Everyone's own panel I've come across has had 2 sounder circuits.
I've ever seen other panels, bigger ones, with only 1 sounder circuit.
Not really. You won't, unless you're going back like very, very far to small, like proper old small panels. Then maybe, but like anything past like the 80s, they'll all have 2 sounder circuits because it was in the BS standards as well. It wasn't just an EN standard thing. That's a BS standard thing.
Do you have the chub thing with you?
Right, so I have just realised what I've done. I put this panel back together and not disconnected the mains cable.
I thought you did disconnect it from the mains.
Unplugged it, didn't dewire it.
Why just leave it in there?
No, because I'll need the plug for someone else. So
One has got 4 screws.
yep, got 4 screws, and it's absolutely horrific trying to take this cover off on your own. Genuinely, every time I service this, I usually get the other person I'm with to hold this to the panel while I take the screws out, because like it is genuinely that hard to work around on your own. It's definitely not a panel I like to service alone. And the most unfortunate part is nearly every site we've got with one of these panels is a school. So he's like, you've got all the kids in lessons and you're like, please don't drop this. It's always fun. I've only ever accidentally set the sounders off in a building once, and that was on that was only in a little house. Well, it was like a HMO. And just due to obviously building requirements, that had to have a Part 1 system in it. It can't remember what panel it was, and I had a bit of a brain fart and pressed the wrong button and ended up setting it off. What was it? I think I meant to mute the buzzer and just set the sounders off. I could have just pressed the complete wrong button. What's that system? EMS Smart Cell. That was it. It was a lovely little EMS Smart Cell. Everything was going great on that system up until that point. I was like, oh, this is well easy to work on this panel. It's a lovely little system, great to disable, all of that. And then literally, just as I went to mute the buzzer, I went one to the left. Off it went. Because I found out one thing. When you, on a smart cell, if you press the sound alarms button, even if you've done all your disablements, it still goes off. Which is actually quite a neat feature. I quite like that, because it means, like, obviously, if something happens in the building while you've got the panel disabled, you can quickly evacuate without having to go and reinstate all your sounder circuits and stuff.
Do you still like Smart Cell now?
Yeah, I love Smart Cell. It's a good, really good system. Works very well. It's it's very. The wireless strength on Smart Cell's well better than Smart Cell or Firepoint. I mean, Firepoint was horrific in many ways. That system was just nope, nope. It did one thing and one thing only good, and the only thing that system did really well was wireless voice sounders. It did those fairly well. Everything else horrendous. Battery life on the devices, if you're doing tests regularly, which you should be doing, good luck getting long battery life out of it, because the battery life on that system was absolutely shocking.
What's the average life expectancy on the batteries?
It's horrific. Fire Cell's quite good. It's just a bit difficult to work around with the RCCs and the hubs and all of that. It's a bit clunky. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I've worked on it a few times. Like when we were servicing the Harris Museum, that's got a massive Fire Cell system in it that replaced the Firepoint, which I think the Firepoint replaced an ancient Protec system that had. I think the original Protec system. I don't know if it was even addressable. It was that old.
Didn't you find addressable detectors in that place?
Nope, everything was conventional. So I think it was conventional system. Up in the really, really high bit in like the main atrium, as you look right up towards the roof, there's 4 NID 48s in that square. In all the attic space was later on down the road, I think was this actually was one of the ones out the attic space. Those were all 58s, and then the lower you work your way down, like you notice most of it had been all taken out anyway. But there was the odd 2KC dotted around in there and stuff like that. But I think yeah, the 48s they were like pretty much. So in that area they put beam detectors because it's pretty much impossible to get up to where them detectors are to modern day health and safety standards. Like back then, they probably would have just lashed up some scaffolding and be like, "Yeah, read that." But yeah, they would have had to shut that building for a couple of months to do anything up there. It's that high up.
Yeah, well, it seems to go unnoticed most of the time when they do large installs like that, you know.
Yeah, well, the thing is, well, they will have known the detectors would have been up there from previous servicing. It's just obviously can't get them down because of where they are. It will have been one of them. Let's just really hope that doesn't go into fault up there, because if the fault's up there, well, time for an upgrade. Probably why the system got upgraded, to be honest. It probably is why. I mean, everything was wired in pyro, and if you go up into the loft spaces, there's still old knob and tube wiring up there. Obviously disconnected, but there's still all the old knob and tube stuff. Back from many, many years ago. It's a cool building. I'm hoping I'm put on the servicing next for that, because I quite liked servicing that. Besides the panels, it's running on Kentex Synchro ASs.
Yeah, I want to watch the first video of an S400.
Yeah, can do.
I mean,
Ah, it's a little one.
yeah, I just noticed that, if I'm honest. Well, obviously we've returned to that playlist. I don't know what you saw in that live stream.
Was this the video where it was going into fault from the Menvia
On
call
last
point?
we got the the Protec
All except
400
one.
panel. See, that's the inside.
Yeah, because
Very
those don't
simple.
even have
See, it's
the
got the
same
whole
amount of
system
buttons as in these.
right to it. So I'm gonna do a test. Class this as the weekly test. They'll be doing it on Friday. And off we go. Radio through.
3000 detector.
Control Sport
Lovely.
2, over. Going to be testing the fire alarm system. Should only be for about 5 seconds, just making sure it works and no further action required. Over.
Oh, how long will this take?
Another fault. I'm going to do it again.
Looks like you've not got the resistor in that.
I don't even know what kind of cool point. Well, it's
Fault.
obviously a KFC,
First
but,
fault.
I mean, what the hell is
It looks like it's a World Series with an
Right,
LED, but I don't think they put the resistor in it.
that? Do you think it would have been addressable?
Nah, because it wouldn't have gone into fault. It would have just permanently been in fault for that.
Yeah, I mean, I converted to addressable.
You're not working.
Could have been, yeah.
That fully on one didn't work either.
That'll probably be why, because there's no resistor in it.
Try this one.
These panels won't do short circuit to fire.
How many work?
I still never know what sound that really was to this day.
Don't know why we're not working on this panel. This call point.
That panel looks like possibly an early 2000s one, that, or like a mid... like...
So the description, it says
Not working.
2003.
Yeah.
No. So if you want to manually evacuate it, you press that and then reset at silence.
We've only got a couple of them
There we
little
go.
2-zone ones. One of them's just been booked down for a replacement because Sounder Circuit 2 stopped working on it.
Yeah. I don't know, that video is just filled with mysteries, if you ask me.
Well, I can simply explain why it was going into fault. Ain't got no resistor in it. These panels won't do short circuit to fire.
Well, how do you know that would have been short circuit to fire? It could have been
Well,
a conventional resistant cool point with an LED.
if it was resistant, it would have gone off.
Yeah,
It's
but you said Protec actually did do World Series conventional ones with LEDs.
yeah, I've got one.
But would they have actually done it without the white lettering, but the black one instead?
Yeah, they've done that. Yeah, I've seen 6000 ones with black lettering before. It has been done.
Does yours have a non-resistant side on it?
What, the LED one?
Hmm.
Nah. I'm guessing what's happened with that one is that one's had the module taken out of it, and it was at one point an addressable call point from somebody.
Surely a foreign machine would have known that. Well, obviously, if you take that out, it becomes non-resistant.
Well, I mean, that system's wildly non-compliant anyway. I mean, it doesn't particularly look like it's even wired in FP.
I thought it was, kind of. I mean, it looks good enough to be FP.
It's no zone chart on it. It's just got labels on the panel. It's no zone chart. It's
Until this day, I think is electrodetectors now, and therefore it's wireless.
wait, what?
Oh, I said the current system there is wireless.
No, no. What wireless?
Electro detectors, I think.
Ew.
That's what it is.
Ugh. Oh God, no. Electro detectors, it's a miracle that them systems are EN54. I genuinely don't get it. They sound like a burglar alarm. I do not get how those systems comply. We've got a school with one of those, and weirdly enough, that school's mad. It's a wireless system. Why they've done this, I've not a clue, because they could just stick wireless smokes in the classroom. The classrooms have got ACOs in them, and then the hallways and everywhere else have got electro detectors.
Over ACOs, that's for sure.
Frankly, the ACOs have had less issues. Them things have been there. I mean, they're 140. They're 140 optical. They're 146s, EI 146s. They've never had an issue. We've never had a call out to them. But then that electro detector system
Outlive those, I'm sure. Even if it is some rather similar wireless system. Or just wireless
those ACOs will probably outlive that EDA. The EDA system's constantly in fault. We've got a couple EDA systems, and every single one of them, I have never seen one that's not been in fault. It's like you're chasing your tail with them, because the EDA, the battery life is a nightmare. They use special battery packs for them, whereas Smart Cell just uses off-the-shelf batteries. So it's very difficult to keep on top of these EDA systems, because the customers don't want to pay for a full battery change. They just want to change the batteries as they go, but then we can't really change as we go, because it's like you change one and then the next one goes into battery fault, and it's just there's only so much you can do with those with wireless. Wireless is good when the customers can keep them maintained, but some customers not really.
Well, at least it had electro detectors last I checked, but I think I might have seen something about just a standard modern XP95 system being put in place.
I mean, XP95 does the job quite well. It's
well, you know, the same person in question has been selling a lot of stuff lately. I mean, we've both got stuff from the same person in question.
Well, I'm going to show you a detector here. I want to see if you recognise it. You recognise that?
That's a tensite. I've got one of those.
Oh, is it? Speaking of electro detectors, you can see what's replaced it.
This is in that museum in sort of Liverpool, is it?
Yeah, it is. Maritime Museum.
Yeah, that's it. They have Cyclosound 4s as well, with firecrackers mounted on them.
Yep, they do.
I haven't been there myself, but two people I know have showed me that system before in the past. First in 2017, then possibly post 2022.
Aye. Well, sure no. I got this a few days back, and I still don't know what it actually is. It's got the British Gas logo on it.
That's an electric key.
And a what?
An electric key.
What do you do with it?
You get. Well, it used to be you would go into some shop to get charged onto that thing, and then you would put the credit into the fuse box. It's kind of. We used to have one of those. It used to be we would go to a petrol station or something to get that thing, put credit onto that key, and then stick it into the fuse box. It was one of those weird sort of paid credit kind of fuse boxes. It's kind of weird.
That is weird.
I don't know. They've been phased out for good.
Yeah, I think so. I've never heard of it. We don't have one.
Yeah, well, we used to have them. It was
Yeah.
back in like 2013, probably right up to, I don't know, 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if it's got British gas, I mean, they could have used it for gas as well, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, as far as I know, that probably was the only video of the S400.
Yeah. Probably. I've got loads of videos of setting them off.
Have you? I haven't seen
Yeah. I service them loads. I come across them loads. I've got more pictures of these things than any of them. It's
I mean, I have pictured quite a few S400s in the past, including at Subway.
I've come across loads of them. We've got loads of them still in service. I mean, quite a few of them. We've got a school which is slowly getting transitioned away from its S400. So the S400 is on one side, and then you look to your right, there's an advanced, which is just doing the swimming pool. The advanced is just for the swimming pool. The S400 is doing virtually everything, which is linked to an SMS Sentry in one of the buildings and a CTEC CFP in the other building. Make that make sense. The Sentry crapped itself the other day, apparently. I don't know if that's been fixed yet. That got C1'd, which I don't know if like any other companies use this kind of way of doing the jobs, but for us, C4 system satisfactory, C3 recommendations. So that's like if detectors are over 10 years and stuff, you put it down to C3. C2's compliance defects. So if like your call points don't have covers on them, no zone chart, incorrect type of fuse spur on the panel, stuff like that, that's where it'd be a C2 compliance defect. And then C1 is full system failure. So one of the best C1s I've seen yet happened last week. Let me see if I've got a photo that's not showing any chip numbers or anything here. There we are.
Sensors on offside. Oh, I can barely see that. Oh, not another DF6000.
Yeah, that was the DF6000 that had a bit of a rough day.
Yeah, should I be surprised that the CF3000 survived without having a cracked screen?
So what happened there? I think the screen went out of calibration a bit on that one, and nobody had calibrated it. I don't know why, but nobody had calibrated it since. So it had pretty much fell that badly out of calibration. I think when the person from the facilities management's been trying to silence it, it's not. And clearly this guy's either been on steroids or genuinely got that frustrated, put his finger through the screen.
I think I'd have been able to get that frustrated to do, PS3, sure.
So the thing is then, the thing couldn't be stopped then because the screen's broke now. So they had to go into site, power it down, and then we got sent back to power it back up because of the weird thing that happened. No, yeah.
Deja vu leaked footage, that's for sure.
The good thing is, the good panels, when they've been properly maintained, the screens have been calibrated properly on them and stuff. They work very well. They're actually quite a good system, but they're just getting a bit. They're getting to a point now, those systems where that panel was installed in 1998, so it
well, the DF6000,
yeah, it was put in when the building was built.
I thought they didn't come out until the early 2000s.
Nah, 1998 that panel was put in.
Weren't they still making the DF4000 at that point?
Yeah, I think so. The DF6000 is more like a high-end touchscreen thing. At the time, it was very good, but...
When did they start making those then?
Well, yeah, at the time, it was like the whole new high-end panel on the market. It was like a first on the market. Wow, look at that. At one point, that was all we ever fitted. That was all we fitted at one point, was those panels. Also, by the way, I'm not sure how to feel about this, but Hikvision have now released a fire alarm system.
I don't know. It's not the worst I've seen, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, Hickfire, apparently, from Hikvision. It's a bit... I mean, can't be as bad as an IAS Trident.
But nice, trying it as an old panel.
Oh, Jesus, the IAS Trident. That's a panel I'm glad there's not many of them around. Same for the old GFE Juno, the old Juno net. Oh, God. That panel's in, like, its 10th iteration now as well. Like, they need to just kill that thing off. The Juno net and the Trident were pretty much the same panel, in a way. They were pretty much the same thing. And they just... Yeah, IAS Electronic Developments. I don't know if they actually had any affiliation to Morley IAS. I don't know if Morley IAS was anything to do with IAS, but... Apparently IAS did their own sounders, apparently, as well, but I don't know what they look like or what they are.
I thought they only rebranded sounders.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the...
Cyrex 4 base sounders, which I guess appear to be Cyrex 4 base sounders.
Yeah, I was at a site the other day that had some interesting bass sounders. They were on Apollo Series 65s. They had no slots around them, but it just looked like a deeper bass. Well, it looked like the bass was on a slightly deeper bass, and they sounded like this. What?
Did the bass sounder have some sort of grill thing on one side of it?
Nope. Literally fully blank around the entire thing. The alternating tone in the background was a Cyrex that was fitted.
And the sounder in question was the one that sounded like a Banshee sounder.
Yeah, the one that sounds a bit like a Banshee. That was the bass sounder.
It would have been a Banshee bass sounder.
Yeah.
Like a little thing on the side, which I guess isn't very easy to find. Like, it does look like it's actually not got anything at all on it.
Yeah. This was well, I looked at them and I'm like, that does not look like a bass sounder, but it is a bass sounder because I've heard it making noise. But it was just fully blank around. It literally looked like it was just an extra mounting box, but it wasn't.
Yeah, there is something on the side. You just can't
There
see
wasn't. I can guarantee you there wasn't. I was looking at it because I was trying to see if there was anywhere for like that looked like a sounder, but it definitely wasn't. I know what the Hozid and Besson ones look like. It wasn't thick enough for that either. They're quite chunky. This one was only about that thick. The Hozid and Besson ones were a bit thicker. That was quite a thin bass sounder. That it was only about the size of a Squashini Micro, but it didn't have the extra bass on it. But yeah, this was another one that had just had a ridiculous amount of bells. There were 3 bells in one corridor, which was really thin, and it was just brutal. You just hear all the different bells because there was a Kabishi bell, then it went to a Folion bell, then it went to another Kabishi bell, and then it went to a new Vimpex clan bell. There was a mismatch of bells on a JSB FireX 2102.
I like a mismatch.
That system's been recommended for upgrade about 5 times now, and they just don't do out about it. It's one of them in their eyes. It's one of them. If it works, it works. Yeah, it works, but the lid of your panel is quite literally hanging off at the top. It's got tape holding the top lid of the panel on because it's just knackered. I know earlier on I turned a door entry controller on and it made a tune when I turned it on, which was really surprising. It was a KMS door entry controller. Oh, there it is. Played like a little tune powering it on. It reminds me of like just silly little tune it played. Oh god, yeah.
So EDA ones are usually plastic, but you can feel it anyway.
That's an Apollo cold one cover.
That's definitely plastic. So don't worry about breaking it if you press it.
It's glass.
So just give it a firm press, and then yellow drops down, so it's active.
Fucking lucky this time.
It lights up and starts beeping. So you know it's get our key. Listen in that way.
I don't know if that's weird enough.
Push up and use your thumb to bring the legs down. Move your key
What?
and push it back up until the yellow bar has disappeared. Sounds good enough, so now there's communicating with
Well,
the
that's about being an intruder along, that's for sure.
One of the other reasons why we do different call out for is we can walk around.
Yeah, they sound shite. Look at the size of the panel. It's frigging tiny.
Yeah, is this whole thing the panel?
Yeah, that thing there's the panel. Although I can't say much. Smart Cell is also about that same size, but Smart Cell looks a bit better built than that.
Do you think this is a rather odd place for a fire alarm panel?
What?
Says it's on zone 1.
It's
Usually
in
you'd have a
cupboards
zone
in a
chart.
kitchen where it didn't belong.
Yeah, that's also not compliant because that needs to be a point of entry with a zone chart. It's no zone chart. It's not got a compliant fuse spur on it.
Well,
I can-
There's actually a zone chart on the front of that door, but even so.
It's not. Yeah, not compliant install that.
Yeah, do you know
I
where
know.
you can get like cheap cable?
What?
Do you know where you can get cheap cable that isn't FP200?
Amazon. I'll just get a big Drummer Cat 5e for about 30 quid, mate.
What about in store?
Oh. What for actual installs?
No, well, no.
Oh, install. I don't know. I just get some, like, if I'm going B&Q or something, I just get some twin and just some 0.75mm flex, me.
Do they still sell it in B&Q?
Yeah.
I've only ever found it in Homebase. Well,
B&Q, Screwfix, all of them, they all sell it.
I guess if there were a competition, Homebase would have won, not B&Q, because well, that was more.
This was a funny one there. the fuse spur panel just says do not switch off fire alarm. Yes, that's a lovely and compliant.
It said fire alarm do not switch off, didn't it?
Yeah, fire alarm do not switch off. Yeah, that really makes it compliant. Lovely. Yes,
But,
great work. Great
how do
work.
you switch it off anyway.
Pretty much, you have to pop the fuse. Yeah, not
No,
compliant,
it's
but
not exactly
okay.
easy, is it?
Fire alarms have to have. So another example of it. This is a panel at my mum's work. That
A 6300.
yeah, I'm not gonna say who services this,
Well,
but that
all I can see
that-
is a 6300 and a
What?
generic fuse thing.
yeah, that's again not compliant fuse. It has to be. So
Yeah,
for fuse spurs on panel,
It's just a document on its own.
that's the photo from the 6400 thing. I can show you. Actually, if anybody wants to see this, I've got all the 6400 documents.
Well, Well, you should probably share them. Or I could
Yeah.
do it for you. Or, you know.
I'll show you. I'll show you. Obviously, I can't really distribute these because not particularly supposed to even be able to. But if I go
Yeah,
into
that's what
my
it is.
downloads, somewhere in here, somewhere is X400. Somewhere in here. Is it in this? Yes, there we are. So I've got like installation manuals and stuff here. So it's like installation manual.
Is this the one from what, 1998?
Well, no. So this one was. This is the revision from 2012. Original issue was in 2000, apparently. But let's go right down to the bottom. This was where we found. Here we are. I found some stuff down here which mentioned about this panel. Yeah, here we are. You can see here some of these drawings. These are dated 1998, which proves a little bit there.
6300.
Yeah. But if I go into commissioning manual here, there we are. This commissioning manual only came out in 2007, so clearly I don't know when they released this panel. That's the thing. What on earth is that? I don't even. Excuse me. Right. Briefly moving on. Let's see. Is there anything in here that mentions about here we are. Allocated devices 4000 series loop 41. Let's have a look at some 4000, shall we? Yeah, these I think were quite a front end system as well. I think you could do quite a lot. Yeah, there's like node search, node serial numbers, networks. So 41 was it for that? Yeah. So one thing that I have that's quite handy to have though is blank node files for 6400. That's oh yeah, logos. I forget that you could do the logos on these.
Oh?
Yeah.
Your own or just Protec logos?
Yeah, you can change the logo on these as far as I'm aware to your own. Right, so I need to find 41, I think it is. Oh, why is it still scrolling? Oh, no. 41, here we are. 4000 series loop. Allows the engineer to view the addresses of... Oh, fuck off. There we are. So... That's interesting. So it still logs and allocates. Eh? That's weird. So it just logs and allocates them like a 6000 device, even though they're Apollo protocol. Okay. That's weird. These panels were very advanced, but they're very clunky to work around, as you can see just by the general length of this manual. Like, it's just there's so much to these panels. Like, does it mention anything even about... Did it mention something down here about 6,000, about 4,000 being Apollo? I don't think they explicitly mention the Apollo name. I think they just call it 4000 series. Yeah, there you are, 4000. It doesn't really show much. Yeah. Yeah, 6400s were fairly good, and then I think in here somewhere there's operating manual. Yeah, this is operating manual, just showing how to use the thing. This is where you start seeing some older photos of 6400s. Yeah, there we are. There's an LPN. So that's a loop processing node. So with 6400, that's your panel. That's where all your loops wire back to. Whereas,
You mean like a 925?
yeah, where this thing is a DCN, but you could also get an a LPN slash LPN2 slash DCN or LPN4 slash DCN, which is an LPN at the back and a DCN on the front as well, so it's built into one. Yeah, you can see there, 2010 there, it says there. But yeah, and then you had RDNs and stuff as well on these. Does it mention RDNs anywhere in here? Might show an RDN somewhere. Yeah. I know one thing that Protec has released now, which I'm quite happy that's come out, is they've now released. It's been out a little bit, but it is a very, very, very good device in the 6000 range, and it is this. It's the LP4IO. It is a 4-input, 4-output module. That is very neat cabling. Wow, that looks good.
Right. Okay.
Got pink sleeving and everything. Nice and compliant. Yes, yeah. Comes in a clear enclosure as well, which is quite good.
Well, neat cabling. I kind of let it go, sort of.
Yeah, it's really nice device. This, and it's you can see it really. So the LP4IO, it's quite expandable. Protec do a lot though. Like you've got the wireless stuff, which is just pretty much just hi-fi, but it's just the translators run 6000. They do a conventional translator as well for the conventional ones. If you want wireless on the conventional system, but like voice evacuation and public address, the voice evac, they've got the racks. This here, Pro Sound, that is actually an ASL Vipedia. That's an ASL Vipedia, so that's the actual voice alarm router. Oh, it even says there, Vipedia is a Pro Sound quality. Yeah.
Remember when Protec used to list speakers put on Pavra as well?
Yeah. So you go voice back. You got
kind of still
got your speakers. I think a lot of these are Penton. That's Penton. I can guarantee you that. I think some of them are Penton. Some of them are. They're a mix of sounds, and then you've got junction box. That's a ball.
Well, that's the one I recognise the most.
Yeah. They do all sorts though. Like let's see what it shows on portable fire extinguishers. Huh. Wow, that's interesting. Lithium. Wow, that's interesting.
Why lithium?
Lithium fire extinguishers for lithium batteries. Fires.
What? Oh, you mean they're for lithium fires? Okay.
Yeah. Highly effective against metal fires, including lithium. What did that say? When in form of powder or swath. Oh, okay, so probably not best for batteries. Evacuation alert system. This is Protec Evac Pro. In all fairness, this is the one thing that I would say C-Tech does best. C-Tech has definitely got theirs the best. I mean, Protec isn't bad. I'll give them that. Protec is quite good, but I do think C-Tech is definitely the best. fire detection wise, fire detection from Protec, their panels haven't really. There's still pretty much the same thing gone here now. And then you've also got Nexus Space, which Nexus Space is the new is now like a new portal for stuff like that. I think. But then, like, if you go, yeah, here we are, client/support portal. You can then sign up and log into your account there. So Nexus Space Life Safety Hub, and then you can log in. And this is where, like, if you've got Protec client login, you log in with your single key ID. If it'll let me. It's not wanting to let me. There we are. So in here you can go downloads. This is where you can get like your software downloads for your 6500, 6100. Oh, revised August 20. Oh my god, P 5.7 is out now. My god, I feel like I've only just upgraded mine to 5.6. Right, well, I'll know what I'm doing later. Well, tomorrow. Sorry, not later. I'm definitely not upgrading that right now. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. It's not even on yet. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's really just been added recently. Right, okay, so there's no firmware in that to upgrade to just yet. 5.6 is out, though. Right, okay, so I'll keep an eye out for that. Has anything more come out for 6100? No, of course it hasn't. Wow. I forget how many countries these are in. Protec are massive in Australia, by the way. They're very, very big in Australia. Manuals. Oh, they've got rid of all the manuals for the 6400 and 6300. They would just use the manuals still, but... But yeah. I mean, granted, it's understandable that these panels are aging so much now. Like, Protec... So, like, Protec 6400s, they're just... I mean, like, some of these panels that... Ooh, let's have a look at this. Nice install and commission of the Protec 6... Oh, what's happening there? LinkedIn's just having a fit. Okay. LinkedIn's not liking me now. There we are. Nice install and commission of Protec 6400. Huh. They are quite smart looking panels, to be honest. They're not too bad. But like, yeah, so 6400, like, if you looked at the devices here, that was like your 6400 DCN. That was an RDN. But they had 6400. I mean, this is a, I think this is a Polish 6400.
It looks the same.
Yeah, but you can see the text is in Polish. Because Protec sold all over the place. Protec really have come along a long way from where they started, though. Like, look at where Protec came from. They've really advanced over the years, and now they are under Bosch now, but they've like, even then, they're still like, Bosch hasn't really changed much with Protec. If not, they're just making them better. Like, even just. Can I skip? Thank you. So this is like. You'll see. I'll show you. Here we are. This is where he says what it's got. So currently, the closest you can really get to that now is like from another manufacturer, other to Protec, is Apollo, but they only do a dual input-output unit. And even then, the dual input-output unit, it's actually two separate units in one case. That is one unit, takes up one address on your 6500 panel, running the latest firmware. As of that video was 5.4 was when it was added. Obviously 5.7 looks like it is in the works now, or is about ready to come out. So I'm intrigued to see what comes out alongside that. Whether it is another firmware upgrade, because I updated mine to when I bought mine, 5.6 wasn't out yet. It was 5.7 mine came with. Sorry, 5.4 mine came with. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to upgrade it to 5.7. The upgrade is done through the X600 PC tool, which can be downloaded through the Nexo Space portal if you are registered with Protec. But
I couldn't hear that video at all.
yeah, I don't think the audio would have come through, but it was just more showing what the module kind of did and stuff. But yeah, it is. Protec has come along a long way, like from like the era of like these TS86s, S400, stuff like that. They have come a long way, and they've advanced so much further now. I mean, they only just keep advancing, and it's just the kit's just getting better and better as the years go by. It's getting. I think I don't see Protec releasing a new panel for a good while. I think there might be one in the works, but obviously there probably is a new panel on the works. I've heard from someone who worked at Protec that they were making a new panel, but we probably won't see that out for another 7-8 years probably before that comes out, because obviously it takes that long. So they might have one in production. I can't really say. I'm taking one person's word for that. There's a panel in the works, but I think most likely, if there is a panel in the works, I do not see it to be replacing 6500. It's possible that there may be something to come in and replace it. I would say probably will look virtually the same, though. I don't see them really changing much anymore, just because they've nailed it with 6500. It's a panel that really is just. I think that panel, even in a good few years, will still look great. I think it would be nice to have a few different versions of the doors, though, like to have an outer door for the 6500, just for a little more protection on the screen and stuff for sites where it might need that vandal resistance. But
aren't these EOLs for a Xenix?
Let's have a look. No, it's cutting it, mate. I can't see them. Do you want to just send me a photo? Send me a screenshot.
I mean, they come in Zen Spare, so they have to be EOLs.
Send me a picture and I'll have a look. Let's have a look. Shall we? Yes, they are.
Okay.
Although the ones I usually come across look a bit more like that, but
Yeah. Well, they'll still work in either a modern or old Xenix, right?
yeah, they all use the same stuff.
I don't even know what they are, though. Be like good use of that information. I don't know, how many people actually have Xenixes these days?
probably a good few. They're a popular panel. I've never really seeked one out. I'm just like, if I get one, get one. But if I don't want to. It's kind of like,
What are you doing? You just turned something on again?
what?
It sounded like you turned on an air conditioning unit or something.
I think PAVA.
What do you say? What about the PAVA?
Just produce some heat, that thing, when it's going off, though. Like, the amp is quite low. Yeah.
Your voice has gone down again.
Has it?
No, now it hasn't.
No. Yeah, I'll probably head off about now. Because I ain't much more to show. Had a bit of a play around on the.
I don't know when I'll do this, but I think I will go live again eventually. There is something I have to cover.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean,
All right.
I mean, like the next one's going to be, I guess, covering this controversial decision.
All right.
Well, I don't know. We all obviously not find it controversial at all, but it kind of violates my own preferences. I mean,
Right, well, I'll leave you to it because I'm gonna I'll get in bed, to be honest. Knackered.
I don't know when I'll be doing that live stream though. Might not be for a little while.
Sound. Well,
But I'll see if you're free to join it.
yeah, I'll see if I am.
I mean, the live stream will be called I'm Giving In, but it doesn't change anything because, like, well, take notes, I guess. I mean, just take a look at this box, for example.
Mm.
I mean, this gives you an idea of this
So,
controversial decision.
right, well, I'll leave it there. But yes, it's good to show off the S400 a little bit. Just
Yeah,
have a bit of a mess around with that.
I know neither of us have had the chance to do it much lately, but we should do it more when we can.
Yeah, I'll probably do another live at some point on. I'll probably do one on 6300 properly because I've got a good few more devices for that. I'm gonna get another 6000 plus space. So I've got another spare 6000 plus detectors that I could learn on. Well, log on and allocate onto that. So when I get that base, I'll probably look at doing that live stream because I can then factory reset. Because I'll factory reset it and just show the entire thing from scratch.
Should also maybe play around with the menu at some points.
Yeah, probably. Well, I want to get a Menvia out at some point anyway because I've got a good few more keypads from me that I need to test out.
Yeah. I'd also like to have a go at the Morley. I mean, I haven't sold, but just gave away the ZX10SC to Sam, and hopefully I'll be going to Logan soon. I've got the 10X1E now.
Yeah.
Put them in Sam maybe I'll do a live stream on setting that up.
Sound. Alright then. Alright, sound. Well, good night.
Yeah.